Hey, it's JJ Virgin, and welcome to the JJ Virgin Lifestyle Show, where I talk nutrition, exercise, mindset, and lifestyle with some of the coolest people in the world. And I give you tips that you can put into fast action to uplevel your health so you can go out there and live that big life you're meant to live. Now, today's show is about how to own your day and get exactly what you want in life. Interested? Wait till you hear who I have. This is someone I've been watching forever, total fitness guru. And I was at an event a couple months ago and I look over and I go, oh my gosh, it's Craig Ballantyne. And I never had gotten to meet him before. So let me tell you a little bit about Craig if you haven't heard about him, but I'm sure you have because the guy's been everywhere. He's been a contributor to Men's Health magazine since 2000. His articles have been in Women's Health, Oxygen, GQ, Maxim, National Geographic, Men's Fitness, and Muscle and Fitness. I mean, he's just been all over the place. He's been out in the fitness world for quite a while. He created the popular home workout program Turbulence Training, and then he created 6 Minutes to Skinny, bodyweight exercise weight loss program, and the Metabolic Kickstarter program as well. He's got the Certified Turbulence Training Program where he certifies trainers from all over the place, and then he puts on a summit for all of them every year. But along the way, he started suffering from these crippling anxiety attacks. And what he discovered, and he's going to share with you these 5 pillars of transformation that he discovered actually from his weight loss clients. And they are amazing and brilliant. Just incredible. I'm so excited to share those with you. And we also get into, during this interview, a really important distinction that I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to just listen in and find it. It's super cool. So today's guest is fitness guru, personal development, awesomeness guy, Craig Ballantyne. All right, so let's do it. Craig Ballantyne, welcome to the show. I am so happy to have you on today.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes, super excited to share this information with everybody and your perfect day formula. So, let's just jump into that. So how could someone improve their life using your perfect day formula? What the heck is that?
Well, a lot of people go through life kind of in this reactive mode. They wake up a little bit late, they hit some snooze button, they are a little bit late getting to breakfast. Maybe they even skip the breakfast and they go to Starbucks, and then, they're kind of late getting to work, and then they jump into email, and the next thing you know, it's 5:00 at night, and they don't really feel like they accomplished anything, even though they were so crazy busy over the course of the day. And so the perfect day formula shows them how to take a proactive approach to life, bit of planning here and there, and you can really, really accelerate your results when you plan to control your mornings, which is one of the aspects, and then overcome the obstacles in the afternoon, and then concentrate on what counts in the evening by having a real clear vision for your life.
So Starbucks isn't breakfast?
It can be an assistance to breakfast, but it's certainly not your number one spot, as you know.
Yes, I know. I'm always telling people
until they start selling JJ Virgin bars, right?
Exactly. The bars and shakes. I'm like, guys, coffee's not breakfast. It's not. So the 3C formula I see that you have, what the heck is that? And how does that one work?
Right. So that one came from study of philosophy of an ancient philosopher named Epictetus. And he taught us to control what we can, cope with what we can't, and concentrate on what counts. And so I applied those 3 C's to different parts of the day. So we control our mornings because we can control what time we get up. We can control what we have for breakfast. We can control having a great start to the day every day. And then we can also then cope with what we can't control in the afternoon, which is, the world is going to throw you chaos, and the world is going to throw you emergencies. So we put together a little system using 5 pillars of success to deal with the middle of the afternoon. And then we concentrate on what counts in the evening, which is, again, we create a vision for our life so that we are able to come home, be present with our family, and know what matters. And when you know what matters, you can really dial in the rest of your day so that you're getting ahead in life to focus your time on what matters.
So you just threw out 5 pillars.
Yeah.
You just kind of whisked by that. What
Right.
What are those?
Well, I learned those actually from my weight loss transformation clients because we've been running these before and after contests for almost 10 years now. And I realized that when the people that won, they always had these 5 pillars in place. And you can actually apply them to other things in life too. And I applied them to overcoming anxiety, and people can apply them to getting out of debt or making more money or whatever you want. And they are better planning and preparation. So, going back to the weight loss example, it's one thing for someone to say that they want to lose 10 pounds, but to actually have a plan and prepare for it, that's what you need to succeed. So you need to know what you're going to eat, what meal plan you're going to be on, what snacks you're going to have, and then what type of exercise program you're going to follow. And you need to have better planning and preparation than ever before. The second pillar is professional accountability. And, for you, JJ, you are professional accountability to so many people in your world because they come to you seeking the expert advice and the accountability that a coach will give them. And then there's the third pillar, which is social support. And that's different from having a coach. The social support is like having cheerleaders. So it's people that might interact with, the people that come to you as a client and always give them positive support and say, I know you can do it. Even if you had a tough day, let's just get back on track tomorrow. It's just that, side of the marathon, cheering you up as you run that last mile. Those are the people that are your positive social support, but they're not really going to give you expert advice, or they're not really going to hold you accountable.
That's an important distinction. And I'm glad you brought that up, because what you see now out there is you've got to have that accountability and the expert advice, but you also need that circle of support. But I think there's kind of a blur that gets people in trouble, where they start to get the expert advice from their circle of support. And it's sort of like what I say is, you wouldn't go to the airplane pilot and ask him what you should be eating, but yet you hear like someone's like, will come up and say, well, I heard you shouldn't eat X. And I'll go, well, where did you hear that? And they go, my hairstylist. I'm going, what? Right?
Right. It's like the old story about once you get stock tips from the shoe shine guy, you know that it's time to get out. So yeah, you need to have that separation. It's so important. And when I finally got professional accountability, when I started hiring mentors and coaches and getting in mastermind groups, that was when my success in life really took off. And so there is a big difference, like you said. It does need to have that level of expert advice. And also, most people, their friends just won't hold them accountable. They'll right. Say you can do it, but they'll never say, okay, you messed up and you need to do something about this. Or otherwise I'm not going to keep helping you because, I'm not going to keep correcting your mistakes.
Right. I mean, exactly. And the majority of people listening here are listening because they're like, most of my tribe are weight loss in the weight loss community, the eating right community, food intolerance community. And, you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who, if you do slip up, are going to say, it's okay, don't worry about it. Because you know what? It's like, learn from what happened so that it doesn't happen again. Right? So totally agree. Now, I know I interrupted you. So you were in pillar 4. And what's pillar 5?
No, I hadn't finished pillar 4 yet, because that's the meaningful incentive. And this one is really cool because most people will find that motivation can get them through, 2 weeks of a transformation sort of thing. And, the idea of, I'm going to buy myself a new pair of jeans. That's nice, but that's not really meaningful for most people. That's not the type of thing that's going to make you dig deep and make that real change in your life. And so you need to find what really matters to you. And for a lot of men in my transformation contest, they always say, I want to have more energy for my kids. And women will be more about, I want to look good for my spouse sort of thing. But also I want to have more energy for my kids. But, that's a real meaningful incentive. It's more than just a nice pair of jeans or even just a goal of losing 10 pounds. So you need to have that deep, meaningful incentive. And then finally, the last one is the one that actually has the biggest impact when you have all 5 of them in place. And it is the big deadline. So putting a deadline on your goals, whether it's a 21-day transformation challenge or 60 days or whatever it is, to have that deadline, it gives you that light at the end of the tunnel. You can say, oh, I can do anything for 21 days or 60 days. And it's possible. It's going to be tough the further along you get, but then you get very close to the finish line and it motivates you to actually work even harder in that last week or two. So that's why the big deadline always has the greatest impact.
That is awesome. And then when you hit that deadline, you have what happens then?
Well, then you have that celebration. And so you can step back a bit, review, and like you said, when you screw up, you learn. And when you also go through a transformation, you learn. And I found that people cannot have a physical transformation without a mental transformation. And so they end up, even if they didn't lose as many pounds as they wanted to, they end up in such a better place overall, mentally and physically. And then they can go and set the bar even higher next time. Maybe not for the same goal, but for just a different goal in life, and realize what they're capable of. And so it's a real wonderful reset to go through that transformation, hit that deadline, and realize what they're capable of.
Yeah, I love everything you're saying, because I've always looked at weight loss as just really a metaphor for life, and the things that you learn in weight loss apply to everything else, just like you're saying. So it's great to hear it in action. Now, I know you talk about creating rules for your life. And, I hear that and I instantly want to be naughty, break them, right. Why do I want to do that, Craig? Come on.
All right. So just imagine your drive to work today, your drive to take the kids somewhere, your drive to the gym, whatever. When you go on the drive, you drive on the correct side of the road, you obey the speed limit, and you stop at red lights and stop signs. And you get to your destination safe and sound, and you have the freedom to do whatever you want once you get there. And so that's the same with our rules in life. If we didn't have rules, we would have utter chaos. If you didn't have stop lights on the road, you would have utter chaos. And so everyone actually has rules for their life, whether they have rules for the way they eat, or, what time of day they eat, or, what time they go to bed, or the rules for how they behave. If they, like me, I don't swear or curse, and that's a rule that I follow. And so I have a rule for my behavior. And so everybody has these rules and operating systems by which they live. And so I just encourage people to think about those and put them down on paper, almost like putting your goals down on paper. Because if you put down your rules and say, this is how I want to live my life, you have a much better chance of living your life that way, the same way that you have a much better chance of reaching your goals when you write them down and carry them with you. So rules actually give you structure, and that gives you freedom.
Now, what about, you talk about a vision and and creating a vision for your life. How exactly does someone get started doing that?
It's a great question. And it's actually my favorite part of the system, because I just love helping people see where they want to be and identify the exact roadmap to get there. So a vision is essentially like, your destination on your GPS or your old school map. And it just shows you this is exactly how you're going to go to get there. And to figure out exactly what you want to achieve and what really matters in your life, you just have to take a look at kind of what season of life you're in right now. So for someone who is maybe 55 years old and listening to this, and they've, their kids are off to school, so they're empty nesters, and they're doing well in their career, but, they've sacrificed their health over the last 25 years. And that's really where they should be spending their time. So that is their number one priority in life, to get their health back. And so they're going to wake up in the morning and they're going to dedicate some time in the morning, because that's when I recommend people need to work on their number one priority first thing in the morning, even if it's just for 15 minutes. And then they start to identify, okay, well, if that's what I'm going to focus on and that's my number one goal, that's when I need to change. Now I can look into the future and say, okay, this is what my success is going to look like. And then you write a vision out as if you have achieved it. So think in a year from now or 3 years from now, if you focused on your health, while at the same time taking care of your family and your career as well. But you look ahead and you say, this is what I'm going to be. I'm going to be 20 pounds lighter. I'm going to have overcome my pre-diabetes. I'm going to have much better eating habits thanks to JJ's advice. And away you go. And you just picture that, and you have that in mind, and you work towards it every day. And when you do that, you can achieve exactly what you want in life.
Love it. It really makes it actually not easy, but simple, doesn't it?
That's exactly what I like to say to people is success is simple, but it's not easy. And so what that means is you can go to someone like you, JJ, get the advice, but you're also honest with them and say, there's going to be some struggles. There's going to be some difficult times when you're tempted, but here's the plan. Stick to it. Learn your lessons. If you aren't able to stick to it, get some more advice from me and we'll keep you on track. And over time, it actually does become easier, and you achieve that success that you desire and you deserve from your hard work.
Love it. Now, I want to send everybody, because I know you've got goodies for people. And it's going to require people being able to spell your name correctly.
Right.
So there's that. So if you go to Craig Ballantyne, is it Ballantyne or Ballantyne? It's Ballantyne, right?
Right, just like a holiday, but with a B and spelled different.
I thought so. So CraigBallantyne.com. I was hoping I hadn't for all these years said it wrong. /free gift. Now, I'm going to spell it. It's CRAIG, obviously, Craig. Ballantyne, BALLANTYNE. BALLANTYNE. CraigBallantyne.com /free gift. Go check it out.
Yeah, we're gonna give them a couple of tools to help dial in the day, make out just ask them a few questions, help them identify their perfect day, and then they can have a greater vision for that. And then they'll be able to put everything in my system in place so that they get more done and have more success in life.
Awesome. That system, your book, The Perfect Day Formula, rocks. This is an amazing system. You've really nailed it. And again, you're so right on with this. It's like whether you want to lose weight, get fitter, have more success in business, have a better relationship, this stuff applies to everything and everybody. And I love the topic of, how to own your day and get exactly what you want in life. Who doesn't want that? So again, I want to remind everybody, CraigBallantyne.com /free gift. And Craig, thank you so much for joining me today. So appreciate this. Now, after the break, I'm going to be answering a listener's question. So stay with me.
Let's face it, most sugar substitutes have a bitter aftertaste or just taste like chemicals. Yuck. That's why JJ created Virgin Sprinkles, a blend of all natural beneficial ingredients that looks like sugar, tastes like sugar, but is actually good for you. The texture, flavor, and ease of use of Virgin Sprinkles makes it your perfect sweet tooth solution. Try this great tasting sugar alternative today by visiting jjvirgin.com /products. You don't have to give up flavor or health with JJ's Virgin Sprinkles. Visit jjvirgin.com /products and try Virgin Sprinkles.
Welcome back. I love this time. It's where I get to answer a listener's question. And today's question is about wine from Annette. Listen in.
Hi, JJ. Absolutely love your show. It's Annette here, and I wanted to ask about alcohol, and I want to know how much wine has fructose in it. You talk about fructose and the liver can't process it. I know that wine is bad for the liver as well. I'd love some extra motivation so I don't have that sneaky red wine every night. I know it's purely habitual, but it's created so much stomach fat. I used to have an amazing flat stomach, and I've just noticed that it has really come on ever since I've been drinking the red wine at night. So I would love to know that answer. Thank you.
Okay, so here's the deal. Alcohol actually doesn't have sugar. I mean, some of it does, but actually wine should have very little, if any, residual sugars because it's fermented and the bacteria eat up the sugar in the process. So you're not getting fructose in wine. So there's that. So that's not the issue. But the issue is this. It's interesting because the studies actually show that 1 glass of wine per day, that people who drink a little bit of red wine actually are thinner than people who don't drink any wine, the teetotalers. Now, here's what I've got to say as the disclaimer. If you are an alcoholic, this is not, go drink, okay? So, and I'm not saying if you don't drink to start drinking, but if you're looking at drinking going, okay, I'm having alcohol and it's creating problems with weight, it's look at what you're drinking and what you're eating. So first off, obviously, sugary mixers are out. If you're going to drink any kind of alcohol, best ones are going to be red wine because you're going to get these polyphenols or resveratrol, which is activates something called the CERI1 gene, which is can extend longevity. So and can help with insulin sensitivity and reduce stress. But it's one of those things where it's all about the dose. A little wine, great. A lot of wine, a problem. And yes, there still are calories here. And so you want to watch how much you're having. So it's a little wine and it really is something that you shouldn't have to do every single night, obviously. Okay. So look at your habits here. Now, The other choice would be tequila, maybe tequila with a little lime juice. But again, for most of the time, it's the amount and the mixers that are getting us in trouble. And again, if you have too much, then your energy's zapped the next day. You don't sleep well. You tend to overeat. So I want to look at the habits that are going along with this. Now, if you have an issue and you can't stop drinking and you have to have wine every single night, then you need to take a break. Take a break. But if it's not that, let's look at what you're drinking and how much you're drinking and what you're having with it. Because I've found with most people, a glass of red wine a night doesn't lead to weight gain, actually can help them with just the opposite, and is not a problem. So, hope that helps. And if you'd like to submit a question, just go to jjvirgin.com/ask. And you can leave a voicemail for me. I can't wait to hear from you. And one more way I'd love to hear from you, I would so appreciate it if you could jump on Stitcher or iTunes and leave a review for me. It helps a bunch. And be sure to subscribe and share the show with your friends. This is JJ Virgin signing off and reminding you that you are worthy. Dare to live a life that matters.